Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another 401k video. I want to give a yearly update on my 401k plan. Originally, when I did the first 401k video, my 401k was around $90,000. Today, we're at $116,000. We've had some great growth. 10% over the last 5 years. 1 year, we're up 23%. That's absolutely remarkable numbers. That's why you have to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so I can show you guys how to get this kind of growth in your 401k so we can all retire early, just like we all want to do. Remember, there's two different types of 401ks. There's your traditional 401k and then your Roth 401k. In the traditional 401k, you pay taxes later, and then the Roth 401k, you pay the taxes now. But remember, also, if you have a match from your employer, your taxable income will be a little bit different because the match is taxable, and what you put in, if you pay the taxes now, you won't have to pay them later. But the second half, what your employee matches you, all those gains will be a taxable event. Okay, so let's get into how you can optimize your 401k. I'm going to break down my 401k and show you how I got these types of gains this past year. If you look on the screen, you can see how this 401k is broken up. About $67,000 is in the target retirement funds. So when I first started out this 401k, I was a little conservative and didn't really know what I was doing, right? So if you look at the rate of returns of all these different funds, which I will show you in a little bit, you'll see there's a considerable difference between target funds and the regular Vanguard funds, right? The other half of this portfolio is broken up between the Vanguard 500 index funds, growth index fund, a mid-cap fund, and an information technology index fund. So I'm like 50-50 right now. But at this point in my 401k life cycle, I'm 38. I'm not putting any more money into this conservative target fund because the gains aren't great. But I want to split it up 50-50 so if something crazy happens in the market, we won't get completely wiped out. So where do we go from here? How do we analyze what is going on in your 401k? Let's check it out. Remember, all 401ks are a little bit different, but they're pretty much all the same. Just remember, the layout I'm using is from ADP. That's where my 401k is in, but there's plenty of other ones like Fidelity. Whatever one you're in, these layouts will be similar, just kind of look a little bit different. So what you first want to do is look at what your company's 401k allows you to invest in. So if you look on this page, you'll see here's income funds. So these are all the different kinds of incomes. And the one below it is growth and income. These are all the target retirement funds. I'm not a huge fan of the target retirement funds, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then there's the growth fund, the S&P 500 index, the value index, growth index. So what you want to do, you got to do a little research. You got to put a little bit of the work in. All right, I'm going to show you the different types of funds that I have in my 401k and show you the difference of gains in each one of these funds. All right, this is the Vanguard Target Retirement Funds. I don't love target retirement funds. All the money that's going into my 401k now, what I'm putting in and the match, none of this is going into this fund anymore, and I'm going to show you why. If you look at the 5-year rate of return, right, 21%. So we're getting around 4%. And then they also have a dividend of 2%. So you're getting around 4 and 6% every single year in your 401k in terms of growth. But if you invest in some of the other funds, this is the Vanguard S&P 500 fund. So they're getting 70% over 5 years. So you divide the 70 by 5 and you get your compound annual growth rate. That's how much growth you're getting in your fund every year. So that's 14%, right? And if you want to go even a little more risky, there's the Vanguard Growth Index Fund. I have a ton in here as well. 100% gains in the last 5 years. They're doing 20% year after year after year. That's incredible gains. Last year I did over 20%, so we were really having a good year, right? But 4% is not enough for you to get where you want to go sooner. If you want to go into the target funds when you're in your 50s or your 60s, because the swings won't be as much, that's fine. The older you get, you want to be a little more conservative. But if you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s, you really want to optimize your earning years, right? So just check out this calculator. I did two different things. So, right, I did this at 38 years old based on a $60,000 salary. I didn't want to do a too big one or a too small one. 60's right around in the middle. And a current $100,000 portfolio. So with my particular company, if I put in 5%, they do a 4% match, as you can see on the screen. And this is at a 4% rate of return. My retirement age is 67. So at my age of retirement, I'll have $673,000 in my 401k. Not too bad, right? That sounds like a pretty nice chunk of change. Until you see this. I did the same thing. 38 years old, $60,000 salary, $100,000, but my rate of return now is 10%. Oh my God. Look at the difference in returns. How much would you rather have in your 401k at age 67? 670 grand or 2.68 million? That's why you really have to take advantage of these funds that are going to optimize your returns. So you got to compare and contrast these funds. Like the Vanguard Growth Index Fund, you click on 5 years, the compound annual growth rate is 20%. That's actually double what I put in. So those numbers would be even better when you compound them over 30 years. But if you in these safe Vanguard target retirement funds, guys, I promise you, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's not hard to figure out that these funds are absolute trash. Over the last 5 years, they've only returned 20%. You take 21%, 22%, you divide it by 5, and you're talking about 4.5% to 5%. Maybe you get 6% with the dividend, right? They're trash. They're absolute trash. So you really got to do the work. It doesn't take a lot of work, but just compare all these different funds and see what works best for you. You can diversify a little bit, but you got to see what's in these funds too. So if you look at the Vanguard 500 Index Fund and you click on it and you see what is actually in this fund, you go down to holdings. Holdings are super important, right? So the top 10 holdings in this fund are Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, another share of Google, Eli Lilly, and Broadcom. And the percentages are all based here on in black, and that takes up 30% of this total fund. So you're pretty diversified. Nothing's over 6% except for Microsoft. But man, when you see the difference between the target fund having 600 grand, almost 700 grand. So say you get even a little bit more. Say we'll go on the upside, 6%. That's $1 million you have in your retirement. But if you get 10%, the number is astronomically different. You go from 1 million to 2.68 million. So that's why you really got to take the time, sit down, and really look at your 401k. Or go on YouTube and research these type of videos like I made and show you step by step what you have to do in order to optimize your 401k. Guys, just listen to what I'm saying and you will crush it. Trust me. Crush it, crush it, crush it. Do you want $1 million or 2.68 million when you retire, right? And this is just one person's income, right? So if you have a spouse or a partner, and they have another 401k, you can do this too. So say me and my partner both have 401ks that are similar. That's $5 million we get to retire on. That's a great monthly income for our family to retire on and be super, super comfortable. And that's what I want for my viewers. I want you guys to kick your 401k's butt, crush the market, get over the market returns. And this way, when you're 67, you can start cashing in your 401k and live an amazing life in your retirement years. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you have any questions about your 401k, what you're doing, I will give you the best advice I can give you within the parameters of the law. I can't give you financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you what I'm doing, show you what I'm doing, and if you want to do similar things to what I'm doing, that's up to you. But you have to do your own research, do your due diligence, And with a little bit of work, you can set yourself up for an amazing retirement. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. We really appreciate you tuning into this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next 401k video. Peace.